That's what the pussy cost me. And when the nigga started hating, that's when the nigga lost me. Fantastical, that's what the hoes call me.
Mazuma TV back with another video. Alright guys, let's talk about a fight that's coming up December 16th, and that'll be Billy Joe Saunders out of the UK versus David Lemieux out of Canada. Now, despite David Lemieux actually being the challenger, it's taking place in his home, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Billy Joe Saunders, who's the challenger, actually going over to the challenger's home and taking him on for a belt. You know what I'm saying? So much respect for that. You know, I did criticize Billy Joe Saunders a lot for his quality of opponents that he's been taking on since he got his WBO strap. But he's been stepping up. You know, he fought Willie Monroe, which wasn't that's not a bad fight to take. You know, it's not. So I respected that and actually thought that Willie Monroe had a chance to beat him. Definitely wasn't the case. You know, he dogged Willie Monroe, and now he's taking an even harder challenge with David Lemieux, somebody who was a former world champion and has some experience under his belt, man. He faced Curtis Stevens, who's a big puncher, had a real highlight knockout on Curtis Stevens. If y'all want to see that, go check it out. And faced Triple G. He came up short, but he still fought probably the best middleweight today, you know. And a lot of people thought he was going to actually give Triple G a good fight. Then he goes on to fight Glenn Tapia, did him really bad, you know. He fought Gabe Rosado. He's done a lot, man. David Lemieux definitely isn't hesitant to jump in with some tough guys. So he's taking on another tough challenge. I'm not mad at this fight at all, you know. A lot of people were criticizing Billy Joe Saunders, including me, for ducking Triple G. I definitely think he's done that, but he called out Triple G. Triple G should have taken the fight, in my opinion. I think he should have went for the undisputed crown and then faced Canelo. You know, I thought that would have been a lot better. And but it is what it is. They got the fight over with. Triple G got paid, and they're about to do a rematch. You know what I'm saying? So fuck it. It is what it is at the end of the day. Like I said, I'm not mad at this fight at all. I'm actually not sure who's going to win this fight. This is a pretty close fight, a pretty even fight in my opinion. I think it all depends on how David Lemieux approaches this fight. If he's well conditioned, he constantly applies pressure on Billy Joe, because Billy Joe's plan has to be to outbox David Lemieux. You know, he can't punch. You can't punch with a puncher. You know, we've seen that plenty of times. You know, I think that's what William Joppy had did wrong against Tito Trinidad. He tried to punch with a puncher. It just doesn't work that way. You can't do that. And despite Curtis Stevens being a big puncher, I thought he took the wrong game plan against David Lemieux. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully Billy Joe has learned from Curtis Stevens' mistakes. Hopefully he's been watching some film and isn't taking David Lemieux lightly, which he isn't. You know, he can't be that dumb to do that. So Billy Joe's approach is definitely going to be to try to outbox David Lemieux, which is possible. David Lemieux is a kind of fighter that can be outboxed. But for David Lemieux to win this fight, he will have to apply constant pressure. Has to be in great shape. Can't get tired. He can't run out of gas, because then that's when Billy Joe's going to capitalize on his fatigue, which Lemieux has showed several times. He has a little fatigue issue. David Lemieux definitely has a fatigue issue. So I know Billy Joe is most likely expecting that to happen. David Lemieux has to come in great shape, man. Has to. He has to. So let's just see what happens. I think it all depends on what David Lemieux brings to the table, because we already know what both of these guys are capable of doing. But with David Lemieux most likely being the aggressor in this fight, it's all up to him to see how this all comes to play, since he's going to be the one coming forward. It would be absolutely ridiculous if David Lemieux tries to box with Billy Joe Saunders. I don't think he's capable of doing so. Billy Joe has displayed some great boxing ability against guys like Chris Eubank Jr. and Willie Monroe. You know, even though he put the pressure on Willie Monroe, because I think he couldn't really outbox Willie Monroe, so he had to dog him. But he showed some great boxing ability nonetheless. I don't really have a prediction. I really gotta marinate on my thoughts a little bit more about this. But that's what I got for right now. Those are my thoughts between Billy Joe and David Lemieux. And just based off of this picture, it seems as if Billy Joe is the bigger man. But we already know both of these guys walk around well above the 160 limit, just based off of their histories of gaining a lot of weight. David Lemieux missing weight a couple times. Billy Joe Saunders needing extended camps to cut weight. So we'll just see what goes on, man. This is just my thoughts between these two fighting. And y'all just let me know what y'all think about this, man. I appreciate everybody subscribing. I hit 300 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Let me know y'all thoughts on this fight right here, man. This is Mazuma TV, and I'm out.